Hi, everyone. Welcome to Curated by Becta Meal Kit number 35 for the week of January 19th to the 23rd. Thanks for ordering this week. Thanks for being with us and allowing us to cook with you at home. We're very excited to share this menu with you. Don't be intimidated by all the pots and stuff on the stove. It's not that difficult. Um, I've gone ahead and gotten started on the first course, which is a beautiful smoked corn chowder. I've just put it in a pot and it's bubbling away. I'm going to warm it up nice and slowly. And then I'm going to jump ahead to the main course and we'll bring out the dessert in a little bit. We've got a really gorgeous marinated flank steak tonight. Now it's done sous vide already, so it's already cooked to rare. So really you're just searing it, bringing it up to the temperature you want. If you want it more than medium rare, make sure to turn your oven on to 400 degrees. But I don't want it more than medium rare, so my oven's off. All right, why don't we go ahead and get started? So I've got butter and 2 tablespoons of butter and water in a little pot, and then our Manitoba wild rice is going in there, and it's already been blanched. So literally, you're just warming it up and having it absorb some of that butter and water on low heat while you're cooking the rest of the stuff. So let's get our cast iron pan nice and hot. 2 tablespoons of oil for the 2 steaks. And we're going to put the hood fan on a little bit to prevent it from really smoking up your kitchen. Next, we want to get our pan ready for the veggies. And let me make sure I can turn this down a little bit now. So for the veggies, we're going to be 1 tablespoon of oil to the pan to begin cooking your shiitake mushrooms. So I'm going to go ahead and do that. And the baby bok choy is going to be after that. But let me tell you about the wine with the first course, because I'm a huge fan of this guy. Via Barossa. When I first read this quickly, I thought this is from Australia, from Barossa Valley, but it's not, and it's from Spain, from the Rias Baixas region, and the Albarino is the grape. The way that Connor writes about it, and Albarino is grown in its ancestral home of Rias Baixas with the sub-appellation of the Salinas Valley. It's in the extreme west of Europe and faces the mighty Atlantic Ocean, resulting in major coastal influence in the vines growing here. You can almost taste the sort of salty saline quality. Expect a wealth of briny ocean salinity, aromas of citrus, stone fruit, and white flowers. Fresh on the palate, it is broad and full-bodied with sweet ripe fruit and a persistent finish. Thank you, Connor, for that excellent poetry, as you always do. All right, I'm going to give my chowder a little stir. Wow, it's really bubbling away. See, the thing about fat, as cream is here, it retains heat, so bubbles away. So the flank steak, you're going to bring it up to room temperature, very important, and put it on some paper towels to take some of the marinating liquid out of it. Now, let me make sure that I get this right. So it's already been seasoned, so you don't need to season it now. You're going to season it at the end. But let's go ahead and put these guys in there. And you can get rid of that. Hood fan's going on. I'm going to turn it down so it doesn't muck with our sound too much. For the veggie oil, I'm not going to quite get in there yet because the steak needs a little bit of time. I think what Chef Rich said is 45 seconds per side. I probably put it in the pan a little bit early because it wasn't quite smoking all the way, so the first side's going to go a little bit more. And then get your butter ready for this. By the way, the rice needs a little bit of the pickling liquid from the carrots, and that gives it the fresh acidity. Make sure I didn't miss a step. Season with salt and pepper. Thank you, Chef Rich. I always want to make sure that I'm seasoning things at the right time. Mix that around. All right. So steak is coming along. So I'm going to go ahead and start the veggies now because we need 4 minutes on the mushrooms. Trying to avoid some of the extraneous packaging, so you might have a little bit of time separating the bok choy from the mushrooms, which are in the package together. Okay, so nice sear on the steaks. I'm gonna flip those guys over. We're gonna turn this guy up. Nope, not that. This guy. I'll probably move it over to gas in a second. I like induction, but I like gas a whole lot more. Chowder's looking very nice. Steak, we're gonna give a little bit more. With veggies, always important to season them along the way as well. The salt actually helps the water release from it. So very important. Okay, what do we do next? Keep stirring things until our steak's ready. A little bit more sear. I want a nice medium rare and a nice solid sear on that. Oh yeah, the butter. That was the other part. So 2 tablespoons of butter, and we're going to butter bathe the steak. So you can turn the heat off at this point. The butter melts in, and exactly what it sounds like. We're taking the butter and bathing the steaks in it. And this gives it a lovely, rich coating. Because flank steak is a bit of a lean steak, so it doesn't have a lot of natural fat. So you want to get a lot of that fat on it, because you want a rich texture with the steak. How are we doing on the sear? Good. That side's a little more, so I'm just going to flip it over and bathe this guy a little bit. And now, we're going to rest them up on the side. Of course, you got that gorgeous butter. You don't want it to go to waste. So why not pour it on top? All right. Mushrooms are coming along. All right, so a little stir. That guy can probably come down now. Make sure the chowder is stirred nicely. Okay, it's been about 4 minutes, so bok choy is going in there. All right, let me make sure I've got it all right. Slightly brown, and then add the bok choy, cashews, and 1 tablespoon of butter per person. And the cashews, my favorite nut. I go through like a liter of cashews a month at home, just snacking on them. They're just so delicious. So I'm thrilled that Chef Rich came up with a recipe that used them. Okay, great. Let's jump to dessert, because I'm really excited about this dessert. My super full fridge here. So we have chocolate citron tart with chocolate ganache, lemon curd, and meringue. And so the chocolate is underneath the lemon meringue. So make sure to be delicate with this. Hopefully it has arrived in good shape and still looking as beautiful as it was when our sous chef Megan put it in the box for you, and Cam and Kat and Ricardo and the rest of the team. So there is our lemon curd meringue chocolate tart. Beautiful. And the garnish is right on there. So guys, thanks for making it super easy for me. I'm going to keep sauteing the vegetables. I'm going to turn that down now. Our rice is looking nice and hot. I'm going to add a little more salt and pepper to that. This rice soaks up the seasoning, so make sure you give it a good amount. All right, our chowder, let's go ahead and plate that while we're waiting for the steak to rest. Yeah, sometimes you need a little bit of corn in the wintertime just to sort of remind you what summertime is. Corn is one of the vegetables, like peas, that freeze really well. And so you get corn at the height of the season that is picked and put in the freezer, and all the sugars don't convert to starch right away, so it's not super starchy, which is fantastic. I'm going to turn that guy off. Give this a stir. And now this is the stuff, this is where restaurant quality meals differ from maybe something we just put together at home. It's always about the garnishes that add a little bit of extra. So we've got some chili oil here, which is going over top. And then we've got the salt and vinegar leeks, crispy leeks. And it's the crispiness that gives that great texture to the dish. Make sure to get all those in there. Okay, here is our smoked corn chowder done with the sea salt and vinegar leeks and the chili oil. All right, now off to the main course. This guy's done, so let me turn everything off. And I certainly don't need the hood fan anymore. So, going back to the instructions, to plate, start by placing the wild rice down along the center of a plate, followed by hot veggies and pickled carrots. The pickled carrots are going to be room temperature. Change in textures and temperatures also make beautiful dishes. So, I always like doing linear things for stuff like wild rice. Got a little more on that plate. But that's okay. I'm probably going to eat the majority of this anyway. My wife and son are smaller than I am. Right. So next up, our veggies. I'll try putting them in a line here. Feel free to plate whatever way you like. What I love is when people reach out by email and show us their plating, or by social media. Love when you guys tag us on social media. So thank you in advance if you're planning on doing that tonight. So what it does is it gets the word out about our offerings. All right. And the pickled carrots. These are little ribbons. Again, you can do them any way you like. Gorgeous color. And again, the pickled quality of them gives it that vinegar hit, that acid that's so important in a dish. You know, usually the chef gives me kudos for my plating, but I had no idea what he had in mind today, actually. So, Rich, I hope you like what I did here. And we're letting the steak rest a little bit more because why not? It's a good thing. So the miso mayo, I'll put on the side. I'll try one on each side. And the chef's swoosh. And this mayo is really what sets the flank steak off. Again, the flank is a leaner cut, so it needs a little bit of fat, and that's where the butter and where the mayo comes in handy. All right, now the slicing part. I'm going to keep that nice butter sauce. I'm going to put it over top. Very important to season it at this point. All right, now I always forget. Am I cutting with I'm cutting against the grain. That's how I want to cut it. You want to cut it in the direction that the marbling or the lines are going. I really hope I got that right. Yeah, I'm going to try one of each. Nah, that just doesn't feel right. Yeah. In the case of the flank steak, I'm going with the lines. I'll send you an email if I got that wrong. Check with the chef. Usually I know, but tonight I've got it sort of befuddled. That's looking good. Beautiful medium rare. And then you're going to top it with the scallions. Have them sprinkle along into the mayonnaise as well. Give it some color there. Oh, I am very excited by dinner. All right, so that is our marinated flank steak, done with the Manitoba wild rice, pickled carrots, bok choy, shiitake mushrooms, and scallions. Guys, thank you very much for being part of this week. I hope you love your meal. We're very excited to welcome you back into the dining room, hopefully soon when the numbers go down. But in the meantime, we've got hot food takeout just ready to eat from all 3 of our restaurants. I hope you reach out. We've got brand new menus launching this week, and we want to feed you as much as possible at home when there's not a lot of great options out there right now. So again, thanks for everything, and I hope you enjoy your meal.